Hello everybody and welcome to Jet TV. So today I am going to be starting a Beastman campaign at the request of one of my subscribers. I'm going to be starting this as Khazrak One Eye. Now, you can jump straight in this. He does have various abilities. Obviously gets a little extra leadership, fighting men, extra income and minus recruitment costs for some of his units. You do get various effects from the Dark Moon, so we get events from this basically, which give me various buffs. We're a very aggressive army. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm not particularly good at playing Beastmen, so this campaign may well be over very, very quickly. I've never really been able to get to grips with them. With anything with horde mechanics, basically, I find very tricky. So, Beastmen and Chaos I find very hard to play and maintain, because you've got to keep raiding to keep your income up, and I don't like not having that constant income. So this is going to be something very new for me. We're back in the old world again for this campaign, rather than with my Dark Elves campaign where I'm over in Nagrond, or my Vortex campaigns for Lizardmen, where we're currently invading and taking over Ulthuan. And we completed the Vortex campaign already, and we're just cleaning up a few bits. Then we're going to start ripping through Nagrond as well in my Lizardman campaign. So, but again, no. So this one is going to be something very different. I'm not promising it's going to last long because, as I said, I'm not particularly good at playing Beastmen. So we'll have to see how this goes. Now, I don't know if there's been any changes from. I assume there's not been any changes. So I assume we're still going to be completely horde based. Nice thing which you have with the Beastmen, however, is there's no negatives from having your hordes close together, unlike Chaos where you need to be keeping them apart, otherwise they start taking attrition from each other. The Beastmen, you can actually cluster multiple armies together, so you can have a bit more of a large force. Now, they are also very aggressive in the way they work, from what I understand, and they are very much a pullback. They are very... what's the word I'm after? They have quite low morale. So they will break, but they will regain their morale quite quickly. Kind of like Skaven as well, which is another campaign I need to pop a few more videos on this week. So there's going to be a lot of back and forth in the battles, a lot of micromanagement again, which while I don't think I'm a bad player, I'm not. When it comes to doing lots of micromanagement, I'm not so good. I prefer having small powerful armies to large armies where I've got to do lots and lots of tweaking constantly. Anyway, once this loading screen ends, will inevitably get a cutscene telling us just what's going on and where we're doing, and then we'll jump straight into the campaign, guys, and try and start killing those pesky men straight away. Maybe, if it ever finishes loading. Oh, it really is. I do apologise about this loading screen. As I said, there is, if you are fed up of waiting, there will be a link to the start of the campaign in the comments section as well. Eventually. I've run out of stuff to say, as you're probably guessing here. But no. Again, so this is something we're going to have to be very aggressive with. And we are finally there.
Gwis, a greeting in your tongue, my bestial lord. I know you feel a yearning to kill me, for I am but a man. But you have received the vision. You know who has sent me. My desire is...
there's actually Skaven and Skaven Blight now.
Ones tear down all civilization. So let us begin. To the north, past the mystic forest of Athaloren, is Bretonnia. Arrogant and aloof, its glittering spires a sure sign of self-righteousness. You should bring ruin to this pretty realm. East of Bretonnia lies the Empire, the very pinnacle of mankind's hubris. Its capital, Altdorf, is the center of power and a symbol of its surety. Reduce it all to rubble. Let pandemonium reign. The Empire is powerful, but divided. You must strike soon, for it may yet unify and seek to bring civilization to the blood ground. lands. To the south, the border princes hold a tentative grip on all that they call theirs. Yet they are isolated by the mountains and the Blackfire Pass. Soft targets for a hungry herd such as ours. Destruction is in your blood, Nui Gorlev, and the world must know it. Sow as much as you can. The Cloven Ones shall destroy the world of man.
Okay, so we do actually have Skavenblight, which I wasn't expecting to see. So the Beastmen cannot inhabit settlements, so we're hordes. Brayheard, the bestial rage of any beast increases we fight. A Brayheard will form if it grows sufficiently, with a large additional force appearing nearby to wreak havoc on the enemy. And we can use the beast paths, which basically it's our quick, fast move, effectively. It's Skavenblight a single settlement? Not that it matters if it's a single settlement region for me, because I can't do anything. So let's charge Tobaro. I might not be able to take it straight away, but we'll see. So we are going to straight in to fight this first battle. With all of my Warherd, with my Brayheard. So we've got Goros Heartrender here versus Peter van Hostman. So they've got a few spears and some swords, so they've got a very basic army. So let's have a look at these guys. I've got Ungar Herds, who are axe infantry. 60 leadership, so it's not terrible leadership actually. They're quite low armoured, reasonable melee attack. We've got some spears as well, and we've got some bows. So, you know, some missile raiders, and of course we've got our beast lord here, who we can start charging in amongst them once we finish loading again. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. This one's going to be a nice, fun, aggressive battle for us. We're going to really be able to start hammer into them to start with. It's only a small battle, but it's going to be give me a bit more of a feel for these beastmen and how to play them. Obviously, things might well have changed from Warhammer 1 to Warhammer 2, and this is the first time I'm playing them in Warhammer 2. So let's keep the pressure on. Like I said, I'm going to do this by just hammering into them and keeping the pressure on them straight away. My loading times seem to be exceptionally long today, guys. Sorry about that. I'm not quite sure why. I was just playing a Dark Elf campaign and my load times were nowhere near as long as this. So I'll have to check if I've got any extra background processes working on after this. Okay, so here we go. So a nice simple setup here. Oh, these guys are actually these guys can start shooting straight away. And they can remain on skirmish. What's their speed like? They actually have reasonable speed as well. So we're cutting apart their units to start with before we've even hit them. In fact, with that, I'm just going to hold. In fact, I'm going to be a bit cheeky. I'm going to pull people onto either side. So to hit me, they're going to have to split. And I'm going to start pulling them back. Oh, that's not working quite as intended. Alright, let's get the counter charge going. Let's turn and fire. Shred this unit. Let's try and hit it from multiple sides. Let's hammer into the back of these guys. That's nice. We've pinned them, we split their forces, and we slammed into them from both sides. I don't want you guys shooting. I keep telling you to shoot here. So please move. Let's take off your skirmish. And they're surrounded, so they are, that's going to affect their morale quite a lot as well. Let's charge my Beast Lord over into the back of these guys. These are Stellian troops. So here he comes, charging over and in. Oh, and they're broken. It's a nice, easy victory for us to start with there. So we lost 56 for 200 of them, so a nice, good, solid victory there to start with, which is what we want, and we are going to ravage Astelia here. And just keep away from those Skaven, because they actually look quite powerful in Skaven Blight. And we're going to start rampaging through here, and then up through Bretonnia as well. We'll probably steer clear of the Wood Elves to start with. I might have to come back and deal with them later on. But ideally I'll lay into them straight away, but I know what fighting into those woods can be like, because everybody takes quite a lot of attrition in them. And I dare say the Beastmen aren't any different, though we are a bit more in tune with the wilds, a bit like the Wood Elves, other than we're the other side of that. We're in tune with the wilds, but not in a nice way. Okay, so that's our first little victory done. We're going to do some nice raiding and destroying of a settlement there. And then we're probably going to try and build up our hordes. That's the other thing you have to do with hordes, is you need to encamp occasionally to just start building up. To build up what you're doing as well, and to build up all of your units. And you get growth as you go around, and I think you get growth from being in lush regions as well. I certainly did in Attila. I don't know if that's going to be the same in this, so I might have to have a little bit of a look into the mechanics to that as well. But certainly that was a nice, easy first victory for us to start on. Actually, that felt a bit different than before. I do love the way we've got a nice individual UI. So we can raise and defile, which increases our growth and smashes up the chaos corruption in this region, or we can raise. And we've got a reasonable amount of money, so let's raise and defile for the moment, which fills this place with chaos corruption, and will mean that I can start building this up.
An artifact of worship to the dark gods in the rubble of this wretched place. It spreads the taint of chaos across the land, mighty lord, weakening the resolve of those that might stand it.
Okay, so that tells me what goes on. So we have leveled up. Now, let's guess what we're taking first. Oh, Gargantuan Hooves, Root Marcher, effectively. Right. So we are growing. We can't quite start upping our things yet. And let's have a look at this herd. They've got a bigger army in Astelia, so I'm actually going to... Can I do a bit of recruitment? So I'm actually going to not go straight for Astelia. I'm going to use the underway. I'm going to start heading to Bilbali with this army here. Right, so we've got various techs here. Okay, so we've got Seed of Hate, which... Oh! Increases my research rate. That's a very useful thing to have. Grizzly trophies, so extra leadership fighting men, extra experience, extra melee attack for lords, but these all lower my research rate as well as I take them, so that's a tricky one. I'm just trying to look if any actually help us get more money, because I always want money. So that's a good one to go down. To start with, we're going to go this one to up our research speed, so we're not going to be losing that research speed as time goes on. Now, I dare say Astelia is going to have something to say about what we just did, though whether they can do much to stop us at this point is it's quite hard to say. So again, we've got a huge amount of different factions in this now, so You know, and even this though, even I'm just looking at the map. Even Estelia, while it looks prettier now than it did in 1. One of the things I didn't like about 1 was the darkness of the terrain and things. I think Warhammer 2 is a lot brighter and prettier. Sounds a daft silly thing, but it does make a difference actually.
You are the children of Cain.
Okay, so we've got that tech. Right, so now let's hit Bilbali. Okay, so this is another battle we're going to be fighting then to crush these guys and start pushing on. So again, we've got a fairly generic human army there against ours, though we don't have quite as many archers this time, though we've got some minotaurs and we've got some gore herds. So our units are slightly higher end. They do have a couple of units of crossbowmen, so I want to be aware, pay attention to them. And these minotaurs, they have an immense charge. They are monstrous units, or they're large units. And they have an immense charge ability, so they will just smash through any units I charge them at, which will be nice. So let's have a look. So these gore herd, they're just fairly generic. You know, well, they're not fairly generic. They're just they are just a better infantry, which is quite nice to have. And these guys are trying to flee into the woods and hide because I'm not quite sure why. They've got the archers, so that's not necessarily a sensible thing for them to be doing. Now these guys have huge weapon strength and they've got a... So yeah, disabled affiliation broken, but they get extra, you know... I'm not quite sure, so yeah, basically gives them extra buffs. They cause fear, but they also immense for attack. What are they doing? Are they just running off the map? They do appear to just be running off the map rather than facing me. I'm just going to speed up time a bit just to get myself... Okay, now they're turning. That was a little bit odd. And let's start charging in, and we're pushing around them as well, which is always useful. Hit their crossbowmen hard. These guys are getting completely surrounded, which is going to be causing them to break. Let's watch these guys smash through these. Oh, they didn't really do that too much. Okay, let's hit the Lord and let's hit him on 2 sides. There you go. These guys are now completely surrounded and they are already breaking. Let's get my Lord up here as well. This is Khazrak One-Eye. He is my legendary Lord, so he's going to start hammering into that unit as well. Let's charge my Minotaurs after their crossbowmen. Let's start pulling a couple of units up here. And chasing down these crossbowmen. Why are my Minotaurs not charging? You should be charging there. Come on, Minotaurs. Charge! Like some good boys. So here they come. They are a fast unit, so much as these guys are running away, they are not going to make it out. Let's just keep a bit of pressure on these guys so they don't have a chance to regroup. And here we go. Here's their charge. Oh, that wasn't quite as impressive as it was with the other unit. So I think we're about to have the mass rout. Especially as soon as these guys catch up, we'll have the mass rout. Oh, look at them running! Let's bring my archers over to start peppering them as well.
Brace yourselves!
And let's just double time it till the end here, 'cause this is over no matter what happens and what they think. And it's done. I'm gonna take the money this time. Okay, so that's a nice easy victory again for us. So we're doing quite well to start with here. We've got a couple of nice, good, solid victories here against the Estelians, and we're going to bring my two herds together to smash Estelia itself and finish off this action, and that will be our first region dealt with, and then it's work out where we want to move on. Now I could avoid the Skaven and work my way up the border kingdoms there, which is a nice soft target for me to start with, or I could start pushing into Bretonia, which is quite fractured actually as well, so I'm not necessarily sure we did too bad. Ooh, I also want the growth though. I'm going to take the growth for the moment. And let's recruit. I can't recruit this turn. I need to be in the encamp stance. So let's recruit. Can I build anything yet? I'm not ready to start building yet. Right, so now what do we want? Yeah, we want extra raiding income, because a lot of the time we're going to spend in raiding stances to increase our income as well. So we're both going to move up into Estelia next turn and start raiding, which will up our income. As I said, this is the nice thing, because I can bring my two armies together with the Beastmen, which is something you can't do with other hordes. So having them together like that means that I can actually I don't take attrition, and I can bring a larger army together in one place to really start pressuring things. The downside of hordes, however, is if I lose a horde, I lose all the buildings I built up in that. So it's not like a settlement where you've got the settlement that's behind you and you don't have to worry about it so much. Beast paths. And let us start raiding. Okay, so we've also got the Dark Moon up there. I'll have to have a look what that does again next turn. So now we're pressuring into Estelia's last province here. Last province here nicely. So we'll have to see if we're powerful enough to take their main city. Which I hope I am. Here they are. It looks like they're going to push out against one of my armies, which I'm not sure is sensible. It's quite a small force. They're trying to double tap me there. Let's retreat. I don't think they've got the range to catch up with me. However, they might have messed up, because I can potentially hear now charge into Magritta behind them. No, they've pulled back. And they're pulling back. They don't want to be being out on their own there. Quite sensibly, actually. Because I would go and jump up and down on them. That has, however, probably messed up our recruitment there. So let's bring our two armies together. I'm probably going to just jump them into the centre here together.
The beast paths are hidden ways.
Okay, so that's he's just telling me about beast paths. Right, so let's move my two forces together here. So we are raiding, and then we can start building up and pressuring. I can always also, the other nice thing is I can always potentially just leave here and come back, but I don't like leaving a job undone. So let's keep this pressure on. So again, through a massive amount of turns going on here. And while I can keep them together, it's also generally a bad idea because you're not going to get as much raiding income keeping your armies together. However, what I can do is, and what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to chuck everything into one. I'm actually going to leave one of my armies back here, just growing, basically, just slowly growing over time, because that means that he's going to get bigger, and it means I can get all the extra buildings and stuff into it. So I've got a dark choice. The ruinous powers take grim pleasure in your endeavours. In their dark mirth, they grant a boon. Which of their gifts will you choose? So I recruit a Gorbel as a hero or a Bray Shaman. I'm going to take the Shaman because I've obviously got melee attackers, and I assume this is a magic user. I don't know what their abilities are like. It's all hexes. There is a wind spell there, so we'll pop him into Khazrak's army. And let's chuck all of these guys up into Khazrak's army, and you can enter encampment stance. And let's see. So you are slowly growing. Now he's also going to go into encampment stance. Ooh, I moved him by mistake. I think because I swapped units I can't go into encampment stance. That is really annoying. Which means I can't recruit units this turn. Though I do have quite a big army now. Although I'm not sure I'm powerful enough to take on Magritta. But what I can do is I can try and lure them out into an ambush. Which I might well do next turn. So I might move forwards into ambush stance and hide myself in one of these woods here, so that if they pull out, I can jump on them all. I can try to jump on them. It doesn't always work, however. But I would like to get rid of Magritta, and they are suffering massively from, you can see the corruption appearing in this land now as well. So the chaos corruption is increasing massively as well, which will be affecting them. So we are now in ambush stance. And I'm just going to march these guys. Oh, we always have a chance of ambushing when we attack. That's interesting. Okay, no, I need to stay. Oh, and you're hidden when you're in an encampment, which is quite good. So he is completely hidden up there now. And actually, if I swap Khazrak into a encampment stance, he will also be hidden, which is quite nice. But again, as I said, guys, I don't really know Beastmen, so this is something very new to me. So the person who suggested this and anybody else, please give me suggestions, give me hints and tips, because any hints and tips will mean that we stay alive longer and the Brayheard lives for longer and we cause more damage. Now, here they come. I might be retreating here. We'll see what happens. I am definitely retreating here. Now, I've pulled them out, so I have a chance of ambushing these guys if I attack. However, they are about to try and double tap me. Oh, this is... Ah! I've ambushed them. Oh no, your army spotted the enemy. Your opponent intercepted and engaged. However, I've only got one of their armies here, so this is going to be a nice fight. So we'll win this fight, and then we'll trap their other army and smash it as well. Oh, they've got a nice defensive line here. However, I've got all of my things ready to attack. Oh, because I was in this guy was an encampment stance, so he gets to do that. So I wonder where my reinforcements are coming from. So he's obviously just gonna hide. I don't want him to do that. So the encampment stance is also something you can ambush from, which I hadn't realised, which is also very nice. And I'll have a little bit more of a look at that next turn. This will be our last battle for this video, guys. Once we've done this one, we will. Oh, a nice amount of magic to start with as well. Now, where are my reinforcements coming from? Ah, they are coming from behind me. Let's put him over here with these guys. If they're sensible, they're just going to hold this bridge. That's a big bridge with a lot of mud on it. So we've got, this is a direct damage spell, and we're just getting all our army on, and we're basically just going to do a mass charge through here. Two ranks charging, with the Minotaurs hitting first, because they will shred through the units and break them all up. Two lords can go in here, the mage can sit back, and my Minotaurs can go in front, because they will just smash through their front line and break it up as we get there. Let's just speed up the time as we get into position. These old world maps are so much fun. I've not had a proper look at an old world map yet, so this is an old world map now in Warhammer 2, and it's just so much prettier. And I don't know if this is because it's Estelia, you've got all these mountains and things, but it's just
Bundles! Fast! Brayheard! Dawakas! Gala! Khazrak! Beastmen! Brayheard! Khazrak! Luxor! Doors! Uncles! Chaos Good! Khazrak! Beastmen! Beastmen! Bulduguman! Daira! Akashak! Dawakor! Dunachu! Brayheard! Bundles! Magritta! Satisfaction! Khazrak! Soyuz Ark! That's luxury! That's love! Luxury! Luxury! Luxury Ark! Stand up above! The cowards! Angle! Fear science! Target! Fast! Faculty! Brayheard! Brayheard! Nashoustra! Uncles! Dogger! Doors! Good sea! Fuerza Chaos.